Hello, and welcome to the e-auction template. Before we dive into the ins and outs of this template, let me introduce myself first. My name is Alexandra Panich, and I'm the head of product at Procurement Tactics. I am thrilled that you're here. The team at Procurement Tactics has over 20 years of experience in procurement and negotiations, and in this template, we will share important lessons that we learned with you. So let's start. In this template, we will be discussing e-auctions and how these can be utilized for your procurement needs. There are typically 6 kinds of e-auctions, each of which we will discuss and comprehensively explain. First, let's discuss what electronic auctions or e-auctions are and when they should be used. E-auctions give procurement professionals competitive prices for products, with suppliers competing against each other to offer their best prices online. This speeds up the procurement process. E-auctions are usually the go-to method when different suppliers can deliver the product, and a quick and easy method is needed to find a supplier. At Procurement Tactics, we have several experienced negotiators. Despite our proficiency in negotiation, we all have to admit that adding e-auctions to the negotiation process has often resulted in better savings than negotiating solely face-to-face. Our recommendation, therefore, is to apply e-auctions whenever possible. First, negotiate with various suppliers. When you feel you have received the lowest price from your suppliers, you can still announce an e-auction. You will see that the price offered by suppliers will usually be lower than during face-to-face negotiations. Now that we acquainted ourselves with what e-auctions are, let's look closer to the 6 different e-auction types. We will be discussing e-auction types and how they can be employed in procurement. The 6 types of reversed e-auctions relevant for procurement are as follows. British reverse e-auction. The most common type of e-auction, the British reverse e-auction, allows suppliers to see the bid position compared to others, the best price offered, or both. In setting up a British reverse e-auction, you have the power to choose what information is made available to them, and you also have the control of the auction step, or the minimum amount a supplier can place between 2 successive bids. Different setups can be employed to achieve different results, so experimenting on various strategies is encouraged. Vickrey reversed e-auctions. Vickrey reversed e-auctions are popular among platforms like eBay. In procurement, the reverse Vickrey e-auction is employed by suppliers indicating the minimum price they're willing to accept. The winner then gets a price that's just a bit higher than the second lowest bid. This type of auction can either be a single step or can have multiple rounds. Platforms that hold these auctions keep bid prices confidential from the buyer and calculate the final price for the winner. Other versions of this auction show rank and price or allow adjustments of the bids. Dutch reverse e-auctions. The reverse Dutch e-auction only shows suppliers the price and a countdown timer. The price increases at a set intervals, and the supplier who meets a price first is the winner. This works best for a small number of suppliers. You have to decide on a starting price, which is usually low. The price increases, the amount of time a price is valid before the increase, and how many price increases there will be. A variant of this auction is limiting the quantities suppliers can buy for each price floor, depending on the rules you set. This limits how much can be claimed at each price. Japanese reverse e-auctions. The Japanese reverse e-auctions is similar to the reverse Dutch e-auction since suppliers only see a price and a countdown timer. The difference is that instead of starting low, the price starts high and is lowered in intervals. The last supplier standing actually wins. Sealed bid e-auctions. The sealed bid e-auction is a particular kind of RFQ, or in other words, electronic request for a quotation, as it hides supplier submissions until after the auction is finished. This can also be seen as a variant of the British reverse e-auction. There's also one round of submissions which ensures fair competition and that the suppliers provide the best they can offer. Weighted or the multi-attribute e-auctions are 2 kinds of e-auctions that are extremely similar, but with one major difference. Both e-auctions have non-price factors added up as a merit score. In both e-auctions, standing is determined by the weight of the price factor and other factors set up by the buyer. Now, the difference that sets weighted e-auctions and the multi-attribute e-auctions apart is that the former only allows prices to be modified, while the latter allows other factors like delivery time or payment terms to be modified as well. Now that we delved into each of these e-auctions, here's a simplified version of their characteristics in comparison with each other. This table may help you determine which e-auction works best for you. Pros and cons table for each of the 6 types of e-auctions are as follows. First on is the British reverse e-auction. The pros of this e-auction type is that there is competitive bidding, and you also get to decide what information suppliers see and the auction step. The cons, on the other hand, are that the low-ranking suppliers lose confidence. When is the best time to use it? Well, anytime. The next one is the Vickrey reversed. The pros of this Vickrey reversed auction is that they encourage best prices on a first bid. They're useful for products and services with a limited quantity available, they're transparent, and usually one-step process. The cons, on the other hand, are that they may not be suitable for complex products or services where price is not the only determining factor. If you ask yourself when I should use this Vickrey reverse auction type, well, when there's a small number of suppliers, when the product of the service being auctioned has a price as the primary factor, or for a quick and transparent negotiation process. Next one is the Dutch reverse e-auction. The pros of this e-auction type is that it encourages competition for lower prices. It is a transparent process with clear rules. The cons, on the other hand, are that it may not always work well with many suppliers, and it requires careful setup of the starting price and increasements. When to use it? Well, when there are few suppliers, when quick price determination is needed, and when transparency and competitiveness are priorities. Japanese reverse e-auctions. It encourages supplier participation and can lead to lower costs. Meanwhile, the cons are that it may discourage suppliers with a high starting price and requires careful management with changing price intervals. When to use it, you may ask yourself. Well, when small numbers of suppliers is present and when simple products and services where price is key are present. Next one is sealed bid e-auction type, which ensures fair competition and encourages best prices up front. Meanwhile, the bad sides of it is that the suppliers can't adjust offers based on competitors and may not result in the lowest prices. When to use it? When fairness and transparency are very important and when you want the best prices up front. Lastly, we have the weighted or the multi-attribute e-auctions, which includes non-price factors in evaluation, and suppliers can adjust prices and or other factors to improve ranking. The cons of this e-auction type is the complexity in determining and weighting non-price factors, the subjectivity in evaluating non-price factors, and the risk of suppliers focusing on gaming non-price factors. When can it be used? Well, the recommendation is anytime. That's all in this template on e-auctions. We've learned that e-auctions are online auctions where suppliers compete to offer the best prices, streamlining the procurement process. We've also delved into the 6 types of e-auctions available and their different characteristics for different procurement needs. Understanding these types of auctions can help choose the most effective method. Therefore, we recommend that you use this knowledge to now streamline your procurement process. This has been Alexandra Panich on e-auctions, and we hope to catch you in our next lesson on templates.